You're listening to the Doctor Is In podcast, brought to you by MartinClinic.com. During the episode, the doctors share a lot of information. As awesome as the info may be, it is not intended to diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent any disease. It's strictly for informational purposes.
Good morning, everyone. What does wheat do? What do we say? Happy coronavirus day? Wow, hasn't the world, guys, changed rapidly in less than a week? It's unreal, isn't it? All the changes and the panic and the fear. It's crazy, Anyway, good to have you on with us this morning. We're going to look at 8 effects, negative effects of wheat. The world has lost it. It sure has. I mean, the world as we know it has changed. And it's just craziness. It's unreal. I never thought in my lifetime I would ever, we experienced, those of us who lived through 9/11, that changed our life big time, right? And now the coronavirus. So a lot of people are working from home now. Not everybody can, and everything is good. Let me just go over the things, because a lot of people ask me, I probably every day, wheat. Hey, doc, whole wheat is better than, nah, it's not. A study came out in the last week or so on the negative effects of wheat. Now, listen, if you have wheat, whole wheat, 12 grains or whatever, it don't matter. It's going to be sugar in 5 seconds. This is a study about wheat. So whether you get it in your cereal, folks, whether you get it in your bread, whether you get it in your pasta, any kind of noodle, if it's wheat, listen to the 8 negative effects of this, okay? Wheat is not the same as it used to be. I think we've gone over this before. At one time, it was stone ground, and all the nutrition was there, and it had a much less insulin response than it has today. So the first negative thing that wheat does, it creates an enormous response in terms of blood sugar. So your body tightly regulates blood sugar. Remember that, okay? Your body tightly, it's in a little narrow range, and your body is made to keep your blood sugar in that range. Never wants it to go too high and never wants it to go too low, okay? Both are dangerous. Both are extreme. When you have a piece of wheat toast, you might as well have 2 chocolate bars. It will spike your blood sugar rapidly. So what is the effect of that? Well, one of the first effects is that it spikes your blood sugar. It creates an enormous amount of insulin, okay? Insulin is needed to do this, to tightly regulate your blood sugar. So the negative effect on that, let me just bring it to the coronavirus for a minute, okay? What has wheat sugar got to do with the coronavirus? Very, very specifically, and nobody's talking about this. Nobody is talking about this. The importance of your immune system, the diet. Everybody's talking about, wash your hands. Hey, good idea, wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Good luck with that. I was laughing because I watched it on Facebook or whatever. The lady, she was I can't remember who she was actually, somebody in the government saying, don't touch your face. And within 8 seconds, she touched her face, right? I mean, come on. How are you supposed to not touch your face? I mean, what are you going to do, tie your hands up? I guess that would be the only thing about wearing a mask, because you probably wouldn't touch your face. But if you touch your eyes or your nose or anywhere near there, guys, I don't know. All I know is, okay, so they're talking about wash your hands and that. And then That's all. And don't go anywhere and don't come within 6 feet of people. And I get it. I understand. That's their training. Medical training is that. That's what they understand. And I'm not even against it. I'm not saying I'm against it. But isn't it a good idea to also build your immune system? Your own immune system. Take care of the host. That's what we've always talked about. You're the host. The virus is going to come around. A lot of us are going to get the coronavirus, but you're not going to get sick from it. Most people won't if your immune system is good. So what do? One of the things, avoid wheat. Avoid sugar, because wheat is sugar. It'll be sugar in a split second. It's going to rapidly, because there's no more nutrients in it. It's a huge starch compared to what it was 100 years ago. Okay, because wheat's not the same. You know, when my great-grandmother made bread, it wouldn't be the same as it is today. The flour is different. They make it differently. It's highly industrialized. It's just a starch. Like I said, you might as well have a chocolate bar. What's the difference? But what it does is that insulin, your T cells. Now, you guys have heard me talk about T cells. T cells are your Navy SEALs of your white blood cells. They're the Navy SEALs, okay? They're the guys that come in, and man, if you got good T cell activity. So what did I talk about the other day? Vitamin D makes your T cells supercharged. The other one is keeping your sugars down, because insulin, the hormone secreted from your pancreas, has an effect on your T cells. If you have insulin resistance, then your T cell activity will not be as good. The Navy SEALs will go to sleep. So this is why I'm telling you that part of your protocol for the coronavirus is your diet. Your diet. This is why the reset is so good for your immune system. You're not having any wheat. You're not even having any carbs at all during the reset. So if you ever think of a good time to go on it, this is a good time. Keep your body in good shape. So here's the negative effects. It spikes your blood sugar. Wheat spikes your blood sugar rapidly. That has so on your immune system. 2, has a major effect on your brain. Remember, your brain is headquarters. It will take any fuel you give it, and it'll take it rapidly. Your brain is a small area of your body, yet its headquarters, it will take 20% of your fuel. So if you eat wheat, it's going to your brain, man. What does wheat do? It turns to sugar rapidly. It will flood your hippocampus, the memory center of your brain. It will flood it with sugar rapidly. I guess if you only did it once or so a week, who cares? But guys, this affects your memory. This is why I'm convinced that kids are ADD and ADHD like they're on steroids today. There's such mental issues that have to do with the memory center, and kids are wired, and wheat is one of the biggest culprits. This is why I'm so much against cereals, guys. Never give your kids or your grandchildren cereal. Cereal is poison. Cereal is sugar. You might as well just give them a cup of sugar. What's the difference? Oh, Dr. Martin, it's whole wheat. I don't care. It's not good for you. Negative, negative, negative. 3rd, it destroys your gut. Everybody's talking about gluten. I say gluten schmooten. I don't care about gluten near as much as I care about sugar. Sugar feeds yeast, candida. It causes dysbiosis. I believe we don't talk about this near enough. One of the biggest issues that sidetracks your immune system is Candida albicans. Yeast fungal infection. It's in your gut. You know, most people don't even know it. It can get into your bloodstream. It can be very insidious. Wheat is a big factor in that. It's amazing. If you read the testimonies of the people that did the reset when they were not eating any carbs at all. Dr. Martin, how am I going to do that for 4 weeks? You can do it. It will change your life. But a lot of people, they can't believe, Doc, my gut, it's so much better. Yes. You're giving your gut a rest. Why? Because you're letting the candida die. You're letting your good bacteria make a comeback. They're not being overwhelmed by yeast, fungus, yeast. I'm telling you, what does yeast do? Right? You can make bread with what? You make bread with yeast, right? What? That makes it bloated. Think of what yeast does. It does this. Ooh, bloated. How many women I know are bloated? Candida. Get off the carbohydrates, especially the wheat. Acid reflux is another one. Acid reflux. How many people have realized when they get off those crappy carbohydrates, bread, pasta, oh, Doc, I gotta have my muffin. No, you don't. I gotta have my bagel. No, you don't. It's a whole wheat bagel, Dr. Martin. I don't care. It's not good for you. It's going to be pure sugar in a few minutes. And Serpa's saying, what about rye bread? Nah, it's sugar. 40 grams of carbs in rye bread. Now, light rye, every once in a while, but not much. It's still going to turn to sugar pretty rapidly. Look, there's no real good alternatives unless you're eating Ezekiel bread or, a very, very low carb bread. You have to change the flour. You have to go to almond flour or coconut flour to make bread. And that isn't so much spiking your sugar. But anyway, okay? Rapidly, acid reflux destroys the brain. It's not good for the brain. It increases, do you know what wheat does? It increases your appetite. You're hungry all the time. Because what happens, think about it. You have a piece of whole wheat toast, for example, okay? And your blood sugars go up this way. And then insulin is secreted to bring your blood sugars back down. But because it's not a lot of nutrition, it's mostly just a carbohydrate and a simple carb at that, very starchy, you know what happens? You get hungry. That's why I'm big on eating protein. That's why I'm so big on eating fat and not carbohydrate, because you're not going to get those spikes in your blood sugar. When you don't get spikes, your appetite is suppressed. And you won't be hungry all the time. A lot of people, they eat, go and have Chinese food and see how fast, with the rice and all that, see how fast you're hungry again. I mean, it's just the way it is. So, and here's another one, okay? It increases when you elevate your insulin, when you're eating wheat, you're increasing your inflammation. Now, remember, inflammation isn't Houdini. Inflammation comes in your body with insulin. Inflammation comes in your body with cortisol. But, we could talk about stress. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Is, just what stress does to you. And who isn't stressed in this day and age with what's going on in the world today? Okay? I love my sandwich, moderation. I'm not a big guy on moderation, Lola. I'm not. I'm a big guy on elimination. Now, moderation is, you know what? People have trouble today because they think, it's in moderation. Just having sugar in moderation. Look, if you're having wheat bread, that's sugar. So there's no moderation. We live in a different world, in my opinion. The clear and present danger is not coronavirus. I mean, really, for the vast majority of people, the clear and present danger is sugar. It's insulin. There will be more people dying today from diabetes in Canada and the United States than there will be from any virus. I'm not saying don't take the virus seriously. Don't misquote me. I'm just putting things into perspective. Cancer. There'll be more people dying of cancer today. There will be more people dying of heart disease today. There will be. I guarantee it. It's sugar. And wheat will be sugar in 5 seconds. So you look at it, it doesn't say sugar. Yeah, I don't care. It's going to be sugar in 5 seconds. You got to figure that out. It creates inflammation, and inflammation is a factor in what? In every disease that you can think of. Inflammation is involved. But it didn't start with that. It started with insulin, guys. It starts with the insulin, high circulating insulin, when you make the wrong food choices. I'm not into moderation. You'll never hear Dr. Martin say, in moderation. You won't hear that from me. You'll hear it from a lot of people, especially dietitians. They'll tell you about moderation. I don't believe in moderation. Nope. I'm telling you, if you want to be healthy, then you make it a treat, not moderation. You make it a treat, maybe if you're good. Look, 88% of the population, this is not Dr. Martin's statistics. This is from the World Health Organization. What did they say? 88% of North Americans, 88% are metabolically challenged. They got a messed up metabolic system. What's that mean? High blood pressure, fatty liver, high triglycerides, low HDL, belly fat, obesity. Those guys are metabolic symptoms. 88% of the population is in that group. 88%. Are you part of the 12% that don't have that? If 88% of the population are metabolically imbalanced, this is a clear and present danger. More than anything else, think about it. Think about it. You can't, it's not moderation, guys. It is a huge change in your life. That's what's needed. You have to take your mouth, when they say put a mask over your mouth for the coronavirus, we need to almost put a guard over here as to what we eat, because that is the most, even for the immune system, they're saying it now. I've been saying it for years about T cells. But the studies are showing now even your immune system reacts to how much insulin you're secreting. And insulin is secreted in high amounts when you eat carbohydrates, crappy carbs. Bread is a crappy carb. Bread, pasta, rice, cereals, sugar, sweets, pastries, juice, milk at the grocery store, unless you have a cow in the backyard, alcohol. These are carbohydrates, guys. And guys, you know me because they turn the sugar. Like if there's any sugar added, it's high fructose corn syrup, which is a manufactured sugar in a lab. It was made in a lab, man-made. It will kill you. So there you go, guys. There you go. And here's another one. Okay, this is the last one. I did 8. Linked to your brain, AD&D, increases your appetite, destroys your gut, causes acid reflux, destroys your brain, increases your inflammation, and number 8, it makes you fat. Fat don't make you fat. Crappy carbs, wheat makes you fat. Okay? Get off the wheat. Get off the wheat. That is the take home today. But even for the coronavirus, don't eat bread. You don't need bread. If you have trouble with your weight, stop eating bread. Okay? Because I told you about my patient, right? That said, Doc, like when I put him on the reset, because he was diabetic. And he said, Doc, what am I going to have? I got to have my toast with my eggs. I can't eat eggs without toast. I said, pretend. because he said I'm dipping. So he calls me a week later and he said, Doc, I'm pretending. I'm dipping. Nothing in my hand, but I'm just doing this when I'm eating my eggs. I got to dip. I said, make a pretend bread. Pretend you're eating bread. Okay? So there you go. There you go. Okay, you guys are great. Keep safe. Okay, wash your hands. Absolutely. Try not to touch your face. I just touched my face. I didn't mean it. Sorry. I'm telling you, that's not easy, is it? Not touching your face. I think I'm going to have to wear a mask now all the time. Okay? Guys, we'll talk to you soon. Okay? I'm praying for you. I'm praying that everything will be fine in your family and everything. You know, the world is changed so rapidly, I can hardly keep up to it. But you guys keep safe out there. We're praying for you, okay? I love you guys.
You've reached the end of another Doctor is In podcast with your hosts, Dr. Martin Jr. and Sr. Be sure to catch our next episode, and thanks for listening.